in some way or other, he still blamed me for the unpleasantness. That was flamin' rude, because I hadn't even been downstairs yet when stuff started flying around the house, including Gingell, who went flying through a wall. I'd been sleeping in because I'd about had it with pretty much all the inhabitants of my house and didn't really feel like getting them breakfast. I didn't know exactly what had started the fight, but I did know that Gingell was looking pretty worse for the wear when I got downstairs, and that Zehra was looking slightly less ice-like than usual, which meant he'd been getting exercise. "I will wait to meet your friend," said Zehra, and if before I'd got the idea that Athalas hadn't changed his mind earlier, I had that feeling much more strongly now. Zehra hadn't decided that he didn't need to meet Morgana. He had just decided that he didn't need to do it right now. Well, that was something anyway. Pushing it a bit, I asked, "Who was that at the door this morning?" "Detectives," Zehra said briefly, surprising me. I was going to have to get used to the new state of him actually telling me things. Maybe when I got used to it, I'd be able to start working on learning when he was telling me part of the truth and all of it, because I hadn't been clever enough to work that into our interim agreement. I felt Athalas's gaze on me and flicked my eyes over to meet it. As usual, he was looking serene and a bit amused. I wouldn't have bet very highly against him, knowing exactly what it was I was regretful about. "Perhaps you will remember that we had another death in the area recently, pet," he said. He wasn't just talking about a death. He was talking about a death, the latest in a series of similar murders that had begun in my area with a dead body outside the window, which series was itself part of a series of similar murders all over the world, and apparently all through the trifle of layers that was behind, the Feyworld, between the weird squishy bit between us and them, and the human world. The victims had been a mix of Behindkind and humans, which was why my 3 psychos were involved in the first place, even though they didn't care about the fate of humankind in general, or humans in particular. In fact, the killer was one of the very few Behindkind I knew, and I was assuming he was Behindkind, because what else could he be, who didn't seem to discriminate between human and Behindkind. You know, for what that's worth. "I remember," I said. "That last body had been just over a month ago, before I left home and adventured by myself and came back home. A lot had happened between then and now, but I wasn't likely to forget it. Like the first body I'd seen, it was pretty memorable. A human hanging in front of a house, its insides on the outside, thanks to a long, deep slash from neck to lower stomach, dripping gore on the grass. Throat cut almost right through the neck. It had also looked just like one of my old friends, but that had only been a glamour, thank goodness." "Thought you blokes had already looked into it," I said. "What were you doing while I was out of the house anyway?" "It was a singularly enlivening time," said Athalas. "I believe that none of us were bored, if that was what you were suggesting." "I was suggesting we have been looking into it," Zehra said, before I could continue, "but we are in need of a significant amount of evidence that has gone missing." "What? Upper management stole it before you could? Flamin' rude, that!" "My lord was of the same opinion," said Athalas, holding out his teacup when I proffered the teapot. "We fancied we'd have to do something about it." "Yeah, can't have other Behindkind pinching stuff before you pinch it," I said, and I wasn't completely tongue-in-cheek. If it came right down to it, at least my Behindkind were trying to do something about the deaths. Upper management seemed determined to hide what was happening, hide it or profit from it. I wasn't sure which one yet. Either way, they were good at making sure there were no witnesses or records left behind of stuff they didn't want left behind, and they were pretty deeply entrenched in the police force in Tasmania too. "What did you do?"